Shalom. This is Brother YAHAWAH once again with another lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's all praise to the Heavenly Father. In His Son's name, who the world innately calls Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Also give a praises, honor, and glory to the Holy Spirit as well, which is the force and entity that makes His edification possible. I want to say shalom to all you sincere-hearted ARHCAEOLOGY. That's you, brothers and sisters. Let's make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS who taught us the truth and who rule well. And as usual, we come in the stead, in the spirit of prophecy, man, according to Revelation 19:10, so we should be keeping our heads on the swivel concerning these times and hours that we're living in. Let me grab this real quick in Ephesians 5:15. Right, it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding, but understanding what the will of Yahawah Bashemal Shai is. Right, and in this lesson, we're going to take a glimpse at one of the wills, or part of the will of Yahawah Bashemal Shai. And his will is to overthrow the wicked, right? And he's going to come back. He's going to send his son Yahawah Shai to overthrow the wicked from his power seat, starting from the bed, the root of this wickedness, which is America, which is Babylon the Great, right? And I want to bring up this article today, which it can be, I shared it with some brothers, and one of the brothers has said, man, this could be very heavy, and you're absolutely right, because, the Most High is putting his plans and intents upon these particular kings' minds. Let me grab this in Proverbs 21 and verse 1. It says the king's heart, meaning his mind, is in the hand of Yahawah. And who's the hand of Yahawah? YAHAWASHI, right? YAHAWASHI is a man of war, just as his father is, right? Because he's made in the image of his father. And YAHAWASHI is directing the minds of these particular kings, man. He's putting that spirit. Let me grab this real quick. He's putting that spirit of war inside of them. He's rousing them up. This is Joel. What is that? 3:9. Yeah, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Right, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is what we see happen in real time in front of our face, right? As we're about to get to this article. So let's finish this out in Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahawah. As the rivers of water, he turneth it wheresoever he will. And Yahawah Bashemal Shai is turning the minds of these kings in the course and the mindset of destroying America. Everyone got their eyes and their crosshairs, their targets set on this great whore, man. The time for America, is up. We'll grab this in Jeremiah chapter 51 in verse 13. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, and that waters symbolize many nations. When you read Revelation 17 chapter and 15 verse, which we'll probably end up getting, it says, O thou that dwells upon many waters, abundant in treasures, right? Because indeed America is abundant in treasures, has all the earth's resources on lock, pretty much owns, everything, economy, the people, says thine end. So let's read that again. O thou that dwells upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come. And who is it prophesied that the end will come through? 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. Esau, Edom. Says, and the measure of thy covetousness, right? And America indeed is very covetous, man. Right? The so-called white man by nature is covetous. As you read that in the book of Habakkuk, 2nd chapter. Right? So let's get this real quick. It's RT News. And the title is Presidential Hopeful, right? Which means a man who hopefully, who is hopeful to be president here soon, and I believe it's going to be in June, says France should leave NATO, right? France should leave NATO and partner with Russia. Man, this this is beautiful, and we all know that, YAHAWASHI is going to orchestrate this as he would like, but from from an earthly mindset, hey man, we hoping that, hey, this dude becomes president because he in the right frame of thought, man. He in the frame of thought, hey, let's leave this beast system and let's go partner with Russia, man. And France, let me grab this information real quick. I was looking at something. Yep, here we go. So let's look at the stats of France. It says France has the 6th largest defense budget in the world and the 1st in the European Union. All right, we know that the EU represents that 10 toes that's in that figure. It's like, keep burping. That's in that figure in Daniel chapter 2. Right. And also when you read Revelation chapter 17, right, it says it has the largest armed forces in size in the European Union. So this would be huge, man, if France was to leave the EU. It has the largest armed force, right, amongst the EU. So if France leaves, man, hey, the EU is finished, which leaves America fending for herself, man, right? And eventually it's going to happen, according to scriptures, according to prophecy in Revelation 17, which we're going to get here soon, But we can see steps, of YAHAWASHI moving in on our behalf, man, the hopefully elect's behalf. Just like he's the hopeful president, hey, we the hopefully elect, man. Right? And the Most High is using these particular people to bring us hope, man. And we see this happen in real time. So all praise to YAHAWASHI, man. All right. So this is big. So let's keep reading. It says, the leader of a French leftist party and presidential hopeful has called for the country to pull out of the NATO alliance, revealing that he regards, and see everybody pulling out this whore, man. That's what you do in a whore. You don't, leave it in. No, you pull out, man. Right? Says, because they did not say that that they're gonna hate the whore. See? Says country to pull out the NATO alliance, revealing that he regards Russia as a partner for Paris rather than an adversary. So the beast system is saying, listen, we don't want Russia to be our adversary, man. We want Russia to be our partner, man. See, everybody tired of America. Right now, they're going along with the get along, before shit really hits the fan. But you start to see glimpses and foreshadows of what's to come, man. And this is giving us hope, man. See, while Israel is stuck in their folly, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, even the Israelites that know that they're Israelites, while they stuck in their folly, stuck in their scoffing, then you got talks of the Charagma being issued out, and different news platforms. Hey, the Most High is working on the other side, heating up the instances for World War III. So the Most High is pulling strings in all these particular facets of life, man. So this is why if you're not staying on top of it, you can easily get lost in it, man. You can easily get lost and get out of the loop, and this is why, you should be making your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis, man, so you don't miss a beat, because so much is happening. 2022 is going to be a year of great judgment. It could very well be the year of YAHAWASHI coming back. Could very well be, in Yahweh is out of the case. Only Yahweh knows the day and the hour, man. But we looking for and hastening to that day. And this is why we do what we do, man. Because as much as we exhort and edify, hey, the elect is being sealed, and as soon as the elect is sealed, those angels, according to Revelation chapter 7, it's going to let go of those winds of strife. They're going to let go of those winds, man. All missiles about to start flying, man. Charagma going to be issued and enforced. So beautiful, but yet dangerous times. All right, so let's keep reading. It says the leader of the leftists La France Insoumise, France Unbowed Party. Damn, these are hard ass names. Jean-Luc Mélenchon shared his insights on the new Cold War and France's place in it during a major interview with France Interradio on Monday. Mélenchon further elaborated on the points he made during the interview in a long Twitter thread. The politician said the country should take part in efforts to de-escalate the international situation rather than follow Washington in the new Cold War against China and Russia. So basically, he's saying, listen, we not down with the horror's plans, man. We not trying to get in. We not trying to go against Russia because they understand, man. Hey, it's just this whore that's in her pride, that's acting as if things is like it's always has been, man. Like America's gonna continue to bully and boss everybody around. But no, the Most High has mustered the battle for himself. You go into that word mustered in Isaiah 13 means that he basically instigated the war. He funded the war. He furnished the war, right? And he furnished these particular nations with the technology, with the resources, with the money, with the brains, to burn this place with fire, man. And see, France understands. So France is saying, listen, we on the side of Russia. We're not trying to follow Washington, man. In this new Cold War against China and Russia. Because they understand China's up there too, man. All right, so both of these nations alone, China and Russia, man, Babylon's finished. That's why you don't see Biden really talking stout, man. Although he's still a proud ass devil, he's not talking, stout against Russia and China, man. He's kind of laying low, but he's still trying to appease the Babylonians, to let them know, like, hey, we still got a little bit of fight in us, but he knows, man. He knows. And now with France coming out, and this is fresh out the press. Let's see, this this was just I got this notification just like not even an hour, maybe an hour ago, January 3rd, man. So here we are in the new so-called New Year's. So this is what your year is looking like, man. For you people who think things were going back to normal or things were going to get better. No. Things are only going to get worse and worse and worse for you, but better for us. All right. Says leaving the NATO alliance altogether would therefore be beneficial for France. And remember, France is the let's get that again. It has the largest armed forces size in the EU. All right. So this largest size military amongst the EU, man, they want to leave. Well, at least this particular hopeful president wants to. And YAHAWASHI, hey, as a man speaking, I want him to come into office, man, this year. I'm gonna be praying for that. Lord's will be done regardless. Hey, but it could very well be the Lord's will for this man to come in. This is why this is on the press right now, man. All right. It says leaving the NATO alliance altogether would therefore be beneficial for France, as it won't be part of the military aventurism of the U.S., Mélenchon believes. Yeah, that's not what the U.S. wants, though. He says, and this is quote, he says, I am for leaving NATO. So he's for leaving the beast system. We need to de-escalate. If we leave NATO, we will not be dragged into the Cold War logic that the Americans maintain with Russia and China. See, these Americans still in the same mindset, thinking that they could just, bully the whole world around, man. This man understands what these other nations got. He's like, we don't want to get dragged into that war, man. So, hey, all praise to YAHAWASHI, man. All right, some beautiful things that we seeing. Let's see. I'm gonna keep reading. We might come back to it, but let's get some scriptures, man. All right, this is Isaiah 34:1. It says, come here and listen, O nation of the earth. Let the world and everything in it hear my words. For Yahweh is enraged against the nations. See, his fury is against all their armies. See, He's against all their armies. He will completely destroy them, dooming them to the slaughter. And that's going to be their ultimate destination. Now, let's get this real quick in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. No, it's like it, the 51st chapter. We'll start. Now let's just go ahead and go over here to Revelation 17. Let's see. Yeah, Revelation 17:1 says, and look at the title, says the doom of Babylon. All right, this is how Babylon, aka America, is going to be destroyed. See, and how come nobody else is talking about it? How come you don't hear no Christians talking about Babylon? You don't even hear certain Israelites talking about the destruction of Babylon, man. It wasn't given unto them, you know. It says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Doesn't that sound familiar? We just read that in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. All right. And what was that, the 13th verse? O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in thy treasures, thy end is come, and the measure thy covetousness. Now John the Revelator is about to tell you, he's about to show, the angel is showing John the Revelator the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters. All right, now let's skip down here to verse 15. It says, and he said unto me, so like it, let's start at verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is YAHAWAH, so like he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And that's the elect, man. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. See, that's the waters that this whore is upon. Because America has and the beast system in and of itself has drawn all people inside of his nets, as you can read in Habakkuk, the 1st chapter, and Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, it's like Babylon of old, not the Neo-Babylonian Empire, but like the Tower of Babel. It had everybody coming together, man, for one purpose. And what's that? To rebel against YAHAWASHI. All right, that's why when you read Jeremiah, what is that? Chapter 50 and verse 21, it says, go up against the land of Merathaim. And when you go into that word Merathaim, it means double rebellion. So he says, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pegdad, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. So let's continue to read verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest, and who are those 10 horns? That's the EU, right? That was because, you know, Esau in his feeble attempt to try to disrupt prophecy, at first it was originally 10 European unions, 10 European countries in the alliance, but after years, they added more trying to disrupt prophecy. But even amongst that 10, that's that base. And that 10, those 10 horns, that's those 10 countries, which consist of, grab this real quick, which consists of Belgium, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Luxembourg, Portugal, Spain, and the UK, right? But France, which is being, and when you read Daniel, the 2nd chapter, says that it's going to be partly strong and partly weak, partly of iron and partly of clay. Now, if France was to leave, man, that's a major component. That part of that iron is going to be leaving, man. So, hey, if the base is weak, that whole body come falling down, man. And that's what's about to happen to this image. So Revelation 17:16, and the 10 horns, which are those 10 EU nations we just mentioned, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. And who's the whore? Babylon the Great. Verse 1, and this is what we see in real time. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Let me go into something real quick. I'm just curious to see what this word desolate. Yep, going to this word desolate, it means what? To lay waste. To lay waste. strip her of her treasures to come to naught. See? Jeremiah 51:13. Oh, that dwells upon many waters, abundant in treasures, right? Abundant in treasures. Well, now these nations, these EU nations, they're going to turn on its once ally, ally, man. The whore is going to take, it's going to strip her of her treasures, man. So let's go back. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahweh have put it in their minds or hearts, see, in the king's hearts, you know, the Most High, you know, has it, puts his hand over the king's minds and directs it whatsoever he will. For Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill what? His will. That's why we open up with what? Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Let's get that again. Ephesians 5:17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh is, man. And what's the will of Yahweh? For Yahweh put it in their, Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the king and the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, and that indeed is Babylon. And his will, Yahawah's will, is to burn this place, man.
Here's what I found.
Siri tripping. Yeah, that's his will, man. So let's grab this in Jeremiah 51 and verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, Babylon, saith Yahweh, which destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. And that's the end game from America. It's about to be a burnt mountain, burnt government. Let's grab this real quick in Obadiah. Chapter 1, I'm going to get it in the NLT version. Verse 7. Let's start at verse 6. Every nook and cranny of Edom, right, which is the so-called white man, will be searched and looted. And this is happening right now through the lens of prophecy. We're searching out this man. We're making diligent inquisition. We're looking at the house of the ungodly, the house of the wicked, like Proverbs 21 said. It says, every treasure will be found and taken. All your allies will turn against you. See, France. Right now, France is an ally. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If you make treaties with someone, you're the ally. But what does prophecy say? All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace, right? Because right now they're promising America peace. The NATO is promising America peace. Yeah, we'll help you out. You know, we got your back in time of war. So it says they will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. This is what's going on behind America's backs, man. Behind Babylon's back, this whore's back, is allies. They're all the NATO, the whole beast system. They're all plotting how to get away from this place, man, and destroy her. It says your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. See, beautiful, man, beautiful times that we living in. And Yahawah is doing all this, to redeem his elect, man. Let's grab this in Sirach 12:3. Says there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil. And that's America, man. There's nothing good that can come to this place. It's always occupied in evil. See, it says nor to him that giveth no alms. So nothing good has come to this place, man. Only evil. It's Baruch 4:30 says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem. And we were people before we were placed. Starting with the elect, we're the Israel, the Most High. For Yahawah is how we be a part of the number. He says, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And how are we being comforted, man? Let's get this in Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime, and what's that? Prophecy, man. Were written for our learning, that we through patience, see, and we got to have patience with these prophecies. you know, but we see these prophecies, hey, these prophecies are hastening, man. It says through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So this should give you comfort if you're true saint. Be of good comfort. It's like it. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave you that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Yeah, America's about to be miserable, man. It afflicted us and it rejoiced at our fall, man. And still rejoicing. Miserable are the cities, right? What's America known for having? Cities, man. All right. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved of her own desolation. Right? And who's going to make her desolate? Those 10 horns, man. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. And you see that going on right now. America ain't rejoicing like she used to, man. It says, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come. And that's why a lot of these Edomites ain't got no pride no more in their nation. They're ashamed of their nation, man. Their pride has turned into mourning. You don't see as many of American flags flying in front of these homes and behind their damn pickup trucks no more. You don't see that, man. Why? Because their pride turned to mourning. It says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure. And she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. And this is what's going on, man. This is what's about to happen. You know, so all praise to YAHAWASHI, man. He's moving on our behalf. You know, so stay buckled in, continue to be obedient, you know, fast, pray, meditate, stay on your watch, man. You know, a lot's going on. Don't get caught up in no folly, you know, keep your head on a swivel and continue to do the will of YAHAWASHI, man. So with that, I hope you brothers and sisters was exhorted and comforted, you know, till next time. DTA, Ababa Ball, and Shalom.